Hello everybody, I'm the Metal Helper and welcome to my channel. Sorry that I haven't uploaded for how long was it? 6 months, 7 months or so, but how can I put this eloquently? I've had shit to do. God damn it, not that, forget that. I'll think of something else to animate there. Well, the thing is that now that I have finally made myself comfortable with the madness that is university life in my country, I thought that I might start uploading in a more semi-regular schedule, like 1 or 2 videos per month. And also, I thought of having a little bit of more variation in the content of the videos instead of just band guitar tones that this channel has mainly provided in the past. So I thought that a good place to start could be a mixing tutorial. Let's get right into it. So we've opened up a new Reaper project and we're gonna import the multitrack files of the song Dead Enemies by Dark Ride. I got the files from cambridgemt.com. In my opinion, it's the best site to get multitracks from so you can practice your mixing skills. And there is no registration or subscription or anything like that. It's totally free. And I'm gonna include a link in the description so you guys can check it out. So let's import the files. And as you're gonna see, the song is just a complete mess of tracks. There's like more than 50 of those and we haven't done any grouping yet. If you don't use an audio production PC and just have the usual desktop or laptop computer that most bedroom producers have, this is gonna be a nightmare to mix. The computer is gonna freak out after some point, so we have to find a way to work around that a little bit. What I personally think works best in these kinds of situations is to actually group the tracks in this project, balance them, pan them, apply whatever effects you might want to apply, and then export those group tracks as stems and start mixing with those stems. This is gonna actively decrease the number of tracks in our final mix project and save up processing power, which we then can use in the actual mix. Let me explain what I mean. As you see, we've got 2 kick mics and a kick sample, and there is really no reason to start processing each one individually. We can instead group them so we have a final kick track, which we're gonna use later in the mix. The difference that this has from bussing all the kick tracks into a kick bus is that this is actually taking up way less processing power. Now, I might have used the kick as an example, but this applies to really anything. It's just that drums are usually mic'd with multiple different mics, and they were a good example for this one. You can act similarly for the snare and for the toms, and also group the hi-hat with the overheads or something similar. Now, if we had a bass DI and bass amplifier track, we would do the same thing, group them together. We also have a lot of double-tracked guitars on this song, so we would group them together, pan them left and right or however we wanted, and export them as stereo stems. This multitrack also has some DI guitar tracks, and in this stage we can either use an amp sim on those guitars or reamp them through a rear amplifier and export what we got through that process. This track has actually pretty rich instrumentation and there are more tracks I can use to demonstrate how to do the grouping. For example, these 2 piano tracks here. There is no reason to mix these 2 in a different way or using different plugins. I have already mixed this and I know that the first one kind of blends in with the guitars while the other is in a softer part. You could just automate a couple parameters and be done with the piano in much less time and with much less processing. This also kinda helps you psychologically in the sense that you're focused on the bigger picture of the mix and not just in the details. In another example of that, you see that we've got 5 different lead vocal tracks and no one of those is actually running in the same time as the other. They're all in different parts of the song. This is a great chance to group them together and use that in the final mix. Same goes with backing vocals. I quickly grouped the tracks. I haven't done any processing because, as I've said, I have mixed this already. I have actually colored the tracks that I need to export as stems. And now I just have to select all of them and export. Now that I selected everything, I go to the render dialog and I select the stems option. This is generally different for every DAW, but because this is a really common procedure, it's actually pretty easy to find in most cases. Now, what you should do is you should select the stereo and mono stem tracks differently and export them differently so that each one is its separate kind. Here, for the sake of speed, we're gonna do it all at once and have them all be stereos. So here I've opened up a new session of Reaper and I can just import the stem tracks. I'm gonna organize them now. As you see, our track count is down to 22, and I'm now ready to start my mix without having to deal with all of the mess that was the beginning session. And that's all I've got for this video. Please tell me what you thought about it in the comments. Ask everything that you might want to know. And if you liked it, please press the like button and subscribe. Also, if you want, leave a comment saying how you deal with this issue so that we can compare our methods and probably learn a thing or two from each other. Once again, I was the Metal Helper. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and until the next time, have a good one.